Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to Cinema Chazzy. You already know how it works by now. This is the segment on this channel where I review movies that I watch, and because there are so many movies in the world and will always be so many movies, I'm pretty much gonna have infinite content for this playlist here, you know. And it's been a while, you know. I've since coming back from my break on YouTube after hitting 500 videos, this is my first Cinema Chazzy video, and I think the last time I was doing a bunch of horror movie reviews, if I'm not mistaken, you know. I did all three Conjurings, you know, last time I was here, and now it's gonna be something very, very special in a broad sense, you know, because I'm gonna be talking about Hachi, A Dog's Tale, which is quite possibly one of, if not the actual saddest movie I've ever seen in my entire freaking life, man. Oh my god. This movie really is not afraid to pull on the heartstrings, you know. It really tugs at you, and you could argue that Marley and Me is a little sadder, but you know what, man? I honestly think that this one about Hachi is much worse, you know. In case you guys don't know what this movie is, well, spoilers ahead, you know, and I'm gonna try really hard to get through this video without crying because I've watched the movie twice in my entire lifetime. The second time was recently. I watched it with my dad. It was kind of like a challenge between both of us to watch it to the end without crying. It was really hard, and it's tough, man. It's tough because I love dogs, and I'm sure many of you do as well, and at least I hope you do, right? The thing is that Hachi, A Dog's Tale follows the story of a man who adopts a little puppy. You know, the puppy comes to him at random. You know, he finds him in a train station, and he just takes him in, you know, with the intention of actually putting him up for adoption. But as the movie goes on, you know, as it drags on, he kind of gets attached to the little guy and vice versa. You know, he's a very playful little scamp. And eventually pretty much he decides to keep him, you know, his wife, you know, and also his daughter really loves him a lot. So, I mean, he pretty much is implemented into the family, you know. Now, this dog specifically is of the Akita breed. So it's a Japanese dog that's actually known for its loyalty, you know. And well, the thing with the movie is that we don't really see this play out too much. At first, it seems just like a regular dog, you know, like a normal dog that loves his owners, you know, and they love him, they play around and stuff, you know. The dog behaves normally. There's like nothing supernatural, anything about it, you know. It's just a man has a dog, has a connection with his dog, you know. It's completely normal, and he works as a professor at a university, you know, so he has to commute there every day by train. So he goes there and back by train every day, you know, to teach. He comes back, you know. But you know, it's a very ordinary movie, you know. At first, the initial setup leads you to believe that there is nothing there, and that there's nothing too how can I say? There's nothing out of the ordinary there, you know. The dog's name is Hachi, you know, and it seems at first that, I mean, the movie kind of establishes this connection between the two of them, which has Hachi always being by his side. You know, the man's name is Parker, by the way, you know, so always being by Parker's side no matter what. And even though he's an old man, you know, he really bonds with the dog and almost becomes like a little kid sometimes, you know, playing around with him, giving him massages and stuff, you know. So the movie establishes itself as being very innocent and family friendly right from the get-go.
Hachiko was my grandfather Wilson's dog. Everyone called Hachi a mystery dog because they never really knew where he came from. And that's where their story began.
Hey, buddy, you lost?
So, then eventually it gets a little bit hard, because if you know about the story, if you have ever read the synopsis, or you just know about the actual real life basis behind the movie, you already know what's coming. You already know what's coming, and they don't take too long to establish it, you know. But there is a very strong bond between Hachi and Parker, a very, very strong bond. He was very well played by Richard Gere. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I've never done it before, but a very good actor. I actually like his work a lot. But the thing is that he plays the character very well. So does the actress who plays his wife, you know. There are very few characters, you know. There are a few people that work in the train station, you know. There's a hot dog vendor, there's the actual train, I don't know, the guy who sells tickets, you know. There are a couple of store clerks, you know. Everybody knows Parker and Hachi. They know about the story. They know how close they are, because at one point Hachi, he stays at home, but then he starts following Richard. He starts following Parker towards the train yard, you know, every single day for I think maybe a couple of years or so, for a very long time. Every single day they commute together, you know. They walk together to the train yard, you know, and then Hachi like drops off Parker, his owner, and then they play a little bit. He pets him, you know, he hugs him, and then Hachi very obediently walks back home, you know. But from their house, you know, Hachi can hear the train whistle blowing. So that's when he knows that the train is coming back into the station. So he goes by himself to the train yard and sits in front of the door waiting for his owner to come out, you know, and greets him. It is the cutest thing ever. It is so freaking cute. It is amazing, man. I don't doubt that many other dogs do it. You know, maybe my dog would do the same if she had some kind of a little. I don't know if she had the means to. But the point is that it's a very cute scene. You know, it shows that the dog is very anxious to see his owner. You know, and he associates the train whistle with his owner coming. So that's how he knows. And then they go. You know, they walk back to their house. You know, every single day they would go together to the train yard, and he would wait for his owner to come back. He would come back, and they would both go back home every single day. So it's kind of like it's a routine. You know, they established this routine, and at first nothing really, I don't know. The first time I saw the movie, I didn't know about the story, so it was a pain. It was a bit of a pain. It's a little hard to stomach, and the second time wasn't any easier, but eventually, at one key moment, I keep saying the actor's name. At one key point, Parker dies of I think of a heart attack. Let me check here. I have actually the synopsis here opened up, just in case I need to look at something. He dies at stroke. Okay, he suffers a stroke and dies. Okay, and there are a few other things that happen, you know. And then Hachi is still there waiting for him. Then his owner, one of the family members, comes to get him. You know, he goes back. You know, and well, I mean, he's dead, so he's not going to be coming back, okay? And yet, every single day, Hachi continues to go to the same spot in the train station to wait for his owner, who he is never going to see again.
Does he have a name yet?
Yes, he does. Temporary guest.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No. The ball.
He's lost it. Sorry. The dog's already been taken.
So it is established, you know, with a very deep level of detail that this dog is very, very emotionally attached to Parker. You know, they share a very, very deep connection, you know, and it's not just about raising him as a puppy. You know, the Akita breed of dogs is known for being extremely loyal to their owners, you know. Why this dog specifically, I do not know. Maybe it's because it's Japanese, you know, and Japan has a culture centered around honor, you know, and being very close to your family, you know, this kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe that's what they were trying to establish. Maybe that's where the dog gets it from, you know, but it is, there are instances of other dogs from different breeds being just as loyal as this one here, but it was established that for some reason this dog behaves very, very, very loyally to his owner, you know. So as the movie goes on, Hachi just comes back every single day, you know, and he starts to become sort of like a celebrity, you know, because everybody knows that Richard, why do I keep saying the actor's name? Everybody knows that Parker is now deceased, you know. It's very sad. Everybody loved him, you know. He was a very good part of the community. But the people around the train station would still continue to give food to Hachi and water, you know. They would essentially take care of him and keep him company, even though they knew he was there waiting for something that was never going to happen. And this is heartbreaking because the dogs are so innocent, you know, all they feel is love, you know. I mean, it's so weird because like there's so much innocence. It's like a little kid, a child who doesn't even know anything about the world, you know. All he wants to do is see his owner again, and he's never going to. But like nobody can tell him that. You can't just talk to a dog and communicate and think he's going to understand you, you know. You can train a dog to do that, but it wasn't the case here, you know. They can't really understand us like the way that we understand each other, you know. So everybody was trying to tell him that he wasn't coming back anymore, but he was so loyal to his owner that he would keep coming back to the same place every single day, waiting for Parker. So, you know, and as the movie goes on, it starts to get harder and harder to watch, man, because the dog gets older, you know, and they keep feeding him and taking care of him. He even becomes like a little local celebrity on the newspaper, you know. So, man, it's really hard, and it does not get easier with age. It's the kind of movie that every time you watch it, it gets harder, because the first time is obviously the hardest, you know, because I mean, if you don't know about the story, it's gonna shock you, you know, but like every other subsequent time you watch it, it's just as hard, because I mean, you already know what's coming, you know? So every single moment of them playing together, you know, it's like, I can't watch this movie more than once, man, because I watched it twice and it was a pain in the ass. It's the kind of movie that you literally can only stomach once. Marley and Me, I don't know how many times I've watched it, but I have had the fortune of, whenever it was possible, just like watching something else, or just turning off the TV, or go doing something else when the sad part was gonna happen near the end, you know, which everybody goes through in real life, you know. It's we all lose pets at some point, you know. We wish they could live forever, but unfortunately they don't. But in this case, it's gut-wrenching, dude. It's gut-wrenching. And the way that the movie played it out was expertly done. It was a very good movie. I love it so much, but at the same time that I love the movie, I just hate the way it makes me feel, you know. It makes me feel so sad, you know, almost depressed after I watch it. So, God, man.
Whoa! Good work. So go ahead. Going home. Hachi! What are you doing here? Been here all day? No, you just showed up 2 minutes ago.
It's amazing. Every day.
Hachi! Hey, Hachi!
So then, a few years pass, then a few more, and a couple more, you know, and talking about a whole decade here, you know. And then on the 10th anniversary of Parker's death, his wife actually goes back to visit, you know. She goes back to the station, and we see that Hachi is still there. We see that Hachi is still there, now a very old and weak dog, you know. He's very elderly, he moves slowly, he's a little fatter, you know. It's like he hasn't, because he's been being fed by the townspeople, you know, so he did put on a little bit of weight, and he's very dirty, you know. Nobody's been showering, giving him baths, you know, like Parker used to do. And this is probably the moment that makes me most cry, you know, because we come to a realization right there. The same sensation that, what's his wife's name? I forgot, I'm sorry. Kate, okay, so the same reaction that Kate has is what we as viewers have, you know. We almost want to cry with her because we see Hachi still waiting there at the same time of 5 p.m. He goes there every single day, no matter rain or fall or snow. He goes there to wait for Parker, you know. I mean, and he does recognize Kate, you know, he licks her hand, you know, but man, it's so freaking crazy. Because, I mean, I'm almost about to cry, I'm not even joking, man. And it's really hard to watch. It's really, really hard to watch, man, you know, and everything about the movie was so well directed towards this moment, you know, where we see the big reveal. And then unfortunately it shows Hachi laying down and closing his eyes. It is presumed that he passes away naturally of natural causes from old age, you know, in his head it shows him imagining the moments that he lived with Parker, you know, his owner, and holy hell, it's my God. This is really hard to talk about, man. And, well, unfortunately, he never does see him, right? He never does see him. So the movie ends on a bit of a somber note. You know, it's not exactly a happy ending, let's say, but anyway, guys, I'm okay. So the movie was very expertly crafted, you know, it was very well done. I think that everybody was well casted. There was a very small group of actors, you know, a very small cast of characters, but everybody acted very well. Good soundtrack, solid soundtrack at the end there, and the sad music playing. Very good audio nuance there, and I think that it was a very good movie, very good. No complaints about it really, you know, and it is based on a true story, which I'm actually going to talk about in the video after this if I can make it, if I can survive. And if I had to give the movie a rating, I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10, you know, 10 out of 10 for Hachi. And good pacing, you know, nothing felt too rushed, wasn't too fast, nothing was too slow, everything happened at just the right time. It's pretty much a perfect movie, done very well to establish, you know, the plot, the main conflict. You know, there's a moment where Hachi seems to sense that something's gonna go wrong, so he barks at Parker so he doesn't leave. You know, and yeah, it's pretty well done.
You don't have to wait anymore. He's not coming back.
Based on a true story. One dog's loyalty.
Hey, Hachi.
Inspired a town.
Is that the dog that I've been hearing so much about?
To discover friendship can last forever.
Every day, come, same time, same place.
Sounds like it can make a good story.
So, the dog was actually played by 3 different dogs in the movie. They played Hachi, Layla, who I imagine was the puppy, the youngest one, Chico, who I guess played him throughout the majority of the time when he was a little bit of an adult, and Forrest, I'm guessing, played him at the end when he was old. And in 2012, a bronze replica of the original statue of Hachiko, who the dog's original name, was placed at the train depot in Rhode Island where the movie was actually filmed, and it was renamed Hachiko Place, you know, the square. And there's a few ceremonies too, you know, and oh, this is really cool. It seems like 2 cherry blossom trees, there was a festival, right, and 2 cherry blossom trees were planted by the statue, and there was a visitor from New Jersey, the kid Mix, who also was named Hachi, so the dog was invited to participate in the ribbon cutting ceremony to serve as a real-life stand-in for Hachiko. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to say. And that's it, guys. If you happen to watch this movie, let me know in the comments below, and give this video a like if you happen to like this review. I'm sorry for losing a little bit there and crying, but I just can't, man. I just can't with this movie. And I already knew it was going to be hard to review it. I already knew it was going to be hard, but it's a very special movie. It means so much to me, and I love dogs, you know, and I just wanted to get this review out there, even though I already knew it was going to be paid for. I think this is the first time I've ever cried on this channel. My God. It took over 500 videos for it to happen, huh? But anyway, give this video a like if you happen to watch this movie, you know, and if you dislike this video, then you're a heartless asshole who deserves to go to hell. So give this video a like for Hachi, alright? Subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day, you know, and hit the notification bell to know exactly what time of the day I'm going to be uploading, okay? And that's it, guys. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen.
Starring Richard Gere, Academy Award nominee Joan Allen, Eric Avari, and Jason Alexander.
When I hear about my grandfather and Hachi, I feel like I know him. They taught me the meaning of loyalty. That you should never forget anyone that you've loved.
Hachi, A Dog's Tale, based on a true story.
And that's why Hachi will forever be my hero.